Hey guys, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, everything, whatever applies to you, Happy Tuesday. So it is Christmas, which means it's time for my second annual Christmas bookshelf tour. I did this last year and I'm doing it this year, and one of my gifts this year was a new shelf for my bookshelf. So now there's another shelf and more room, and it's totally more crowded, and I'm already out of room on there. So yeah. Lots of books. And I'm wearing this hat because I have serious bed head and also hat hair right now, and I like this hat, so yeah, I'm just gonna leave it on there. Well, I've kept you guys waiting long enough for this, so let's go ahead and get started on this tour through bookshelf. Please keep your arms, hands, and feet inside the vehicles at all times, and keep away from the doors. Por favor, mantengas alejado de las puertas. So my first series that I have up here is the Hunger Games trilogy by Suzanne Collins, The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay. Next to that we have Legend by Marie Lu. Then I have the Maze Runner trilogy by James Dashner, The Maze Runner, The Scorched Trials, The Death Cure, and then the prequel, The Kill Order. Next I have the first two books in the Divergent trilogy, Divergent and Insurgent by Veronica Roth. And then the Gone series, so far by Michael Grant, Gone, Hunger, Lies, Plague, and Fear. The last one, Light, is coming out early next year. Beside that I have Berserk, also by Michael Grant. And then the Lorien Legacies by Pittacus Lore, I Am Number 4, The Power of 6, and The Rise of 9. And then I have the I Am Number 4 Lost Files, which consists of 6's Legacy, 9's Legacies, and the Fallen Legacies. And beside that I have The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, or Tolkien, I'm not quite sure, but don't yell at me. And then I have this little space holder for when these series are continued, so I don't have to stress out about needing space. Yay. So that is this shelf. Moving on down here, the first series I have here is the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series by Rick Riordan, The Lightning Thief, The Sea of Monsters, The Titan's Curse, The Battle of the Labyrinth, and The Last Olympian. And then I have The Lost Hero, The Son of Neptune, and The Mark of Athena, which is the Heroes of Olympus series so far by Rick Riordan. And then I have the Kane Chronicles, which is another trilogy by Rick Riordan about Egyptian gods and goddesses. And then I have the Percy Jackson Ultimate Guide, the Demigod Files, and the Kane Chronicles Survival Guide. And so this is my little Rick Riordan corner. And then up here I have the Maximum Ride series by James Patterson, The Angel Experiment, Schools Out Forever, Saving the World in Other Extreme Sports, The Final Warning, Max, Fang, Angel, and Nevermore. Down there I have the hardcovers laying down because I don't know. And then up here next to those I have the first two books in the Escape from Furnace series by Alexander Gordon Smith, Lockdown and Solitaire, and then 13 Days to Midnight by Patrick Carman. And then beside that I have the Witch and Wizard series so far, Witch and Wizard The Gift, and Witch and Wizard The Fire. And beside those I have Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs, which I'm still waiting for the sequel, Mr. Riggs, and Mr. Death's Blue-Eyed Girls by Mary Downinghan, which I still haven't read yet, which I'm very disappointed about. So that's it for this shelf right here. Moving on down here, the first series I have is the Across the Universe trilogy by Beth Revis, Across the Universe, A Million Suns, and Shades of Earth. This is actually an arc. I have, all of these are signed actually, but that is actually how it looks though. They changed up the whole cover scheme, so everything looks completely different. Like the third one is nothing like the first two unless you buy the other edition, which I'm not going to because I already have the first two in hardcover and they're signed, but whatever. Anyway, this is a fabulous trilogy. This one doesn't come out until next year, but my name is in it, and like she used me for a character, so I have an advanced copy for review, which I will do an early review. And then I have the first two books in the Matched trilogy by Ali Condi, Matched and Crossed, and the first four books in the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare, City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, and City of Fallen Angels. I will hopefully be catching up on those, the first five, before the last one comes out in 2014. So I have some reading to do, and the City of Bones movie comes out next August. And then beside that I have the first 3 books in the Beautiful Creatures series by Kami Garcia and Margaret Stohl. Beautiful Creatures, Beautiful Darkness, and Beautiful Chaos. Beautiful Redemption is out. It's the final book, but I still need to catch up on these, and the movie is coming out in February, so I need to do that fast. And then, beside that, I have the first 2 books in the Delirium trilogy by Lauren Oliver. Delirium and Pandemonium. Requiem is coming out next year at some point, in February or March, somewhere around there. Next to those, I have Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. I know the next one is out. It's red. I can't think of the title right now, but I see it all the time, so I want to read that soon because they look really good. Next to that, I have Shatter Me by Tahara Mafi. Totally saying that name wrong. Anyway, that's a really good book, and I forgot when the sequel comes out. When does that happen? Next to that, I have Cinder by Marissa Meyer, and The Selection by Kiera Cass, and then my signed copy of Born Wicked by Jessica Spotswood, and next to that I have Under the Never Sky by Veronica Rossi, Enclave by Anna Guire, and the first 2 books in the High Society series by Allie Carter, High Society and Uncommon Criminals, and then the If I Stay little duology, If I Stay and Where She Went by Gail Forman. So that is this beautiful shelf. Moving on down her. So in this nice little stack on this shelf, I have my John Green books, Looking for Alaska, An Abundance of Catherines, Paper Towns, and Will Grayson by John Green and David Levithan, and then The Fault in Our Stars, and those are all by John Green. And then under that I have Let It Snow, which is 3 little holiday books by John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle. I haven't finished that yet, but I will, and I will review it and let you guys know how it is. And underneath that I have Dash and Lily's Book of Dares by Rachel Cohn and David Levithan, Boy Meets Boy by David Levithan, The Realm of Possibility, and Every You, Every Me by David Levithan. And underneath that, I'm going to try to do this the first time. The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by Jennifer E. Smith. I thought that was a really good book. There were definitely some things that were missing from it, but I really enjoyed it for some reason. And then underneath that I have The Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson. So that's my little stack of those people. Next to that I have the Crank trilogy by Ellen Hopkins, Crank, Glass, and Fallout. I've only read the first one, Crank, and I'm excited to see what happens next with the characters. And then next to that I have my other Ellen Hopkins books. I have Burned, Impulse, Perfect, and Tilt. Beside those, I have the first 2 books in the Enemy series by Charlie Higson, The Enemy and the Dead, and then I have Partials by Dan Wells, The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness, which is the first book in the Chaos Walking trilogy. I need to get on that soon. And then I have Leviathan by Scott Westerfeld, which is the first book in the Leviathan trilogy, The Book Thief by Marcus Suzak, Unwind by Neil Shusterman, and Wake by Lisa McMahon. And sitting above those, Without a Care in the World, is The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling, which, yeah, I never really ended up finishing that. I will at some point. I'll make it a New Year's resolution or something. So that is this shelf. In this little stack right here, at the top I have Hex Hall by Rachel Hawkins, Saving June by Hannah Harrington, Before I Die by Jenny Downham, Hate List by Jennifer Brown, Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver, Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Metzen, Deadly Little Secrets by Laurie Stolars, Struck by Lightning by Chris Colfer, which that movie is coming out soon. Very excited. Shine by Lauren Miracle, and You Against Me by Jenny Downham. Why do I not have my Jenny Downham books together? I don't know. This little stack next to that, at the top I have The Land of Stories, The Wishing Spell by Chris Colfer. It's kind of a funny story by Ned Vizzini. Speak and Twisted by Laurie Halse Anderson, and then my favorite book of all time, no big deal, The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. And then under that I have The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, and Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. And then I have Bossy Pants by Tina Fey, which is kind of her autobiography. The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. Shelter by Harlan Coben. 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher. And The Future of Us by Jay Asher and Carolyn Mackler. Next to all that, I have my adult James Patterson books. Now You See Her, Sundays at Tiffany's, The Christmas Wedding, and Cross. And then I have a few, just a few, of my Jodi Picoult books up here. Lone Wolf, 19 Minutes, My Sister's Keeper. Between the Lines, which she wrote with her daughter, Samantha Van Leer. House Rules, and Sing You Home. So that is this shelf right here. And now we will travel to behind the closed doors. These books are mostly just down here because there's no room for them up here. So let's get in focus here and get started. Alright, first set of books that I have down here is the Uglies series by Scott Westerfeld. Uglies, Pretty Specials, and Extras. I've only read Uglies. And then I have the Percy Jackson and the Olympians Demigod Files by Rick Riordan. And Caught by Harlan Coben, The Woods, and No Second Chance, also by Harlan Coben. And then I have my non-presentable Harry Potter collection. Do I need to go through them? Okay, I will. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. And then next to that I have The Tales of Beedle the Bard, all of these by J.K. Rowling. And then above those I have The Bad Beginning by Lemony Snicket, and To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Next to that, hidden right there, I have The Hunger Pains by the Harvard Lampoon, a parody of The Hunger Games. There it is in better light. Forever by Judy Blume, Two-Way Street by Lauren Barnholt, and then I have my arcs of Fear by Michael Grant and Pandemonium by Lauren Oliver, which I also have in actual book form up there in the shelves above. And then I have some books by Mary Downinghan. I have Wait Till Helen Comes, All the Lovely Bad Ones, Closed for the Season, Deep and Dark and Dangerous, and The Old Willis Place. Let's get those organized. So that is this top shelf right here. Moving on down there. On this shelf I have The Host by Stephenie Meyer, Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare, Crisscross by Lynn Ray Perkins, Number the Stars by Lois Lowry, Lovesick by Jake Coburn, and right there is Sweethearts by Sarah Zarr. Next to that I have Rules by Cynthia Lord, which is actually a really good book. I have the Steve Jobs biography by Walter Isaacson, the Steven Spielberg biography by someone Jackson. Who is it? Kathy. I have a paperback of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince by J.K. Rowling. The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and the Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. And alas, you have found my Nicholas Sparks collection. I have Safe Haven, Dear John, A Bend in the Road, True Believer, At First Sight, and The Rescue. And then I also have The Notebook and The Last Song on my Kindle. And then right here I have the first 3 books in the Artemis Fowl series. Artemis Fowl, The Arctic Incident, and The Eternity Code. And right there is the rest of my Jodi Picoult collection. I have Handle with Care, Change of Heart, Vanishing Act, Salem Falls, Songs of the Humpback Whale, Perfect Match, The 10th Circle, and The Pact. And above those I have the collector's edition of The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Yeah. And then I have The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank, and Lord of the Flies by William Golding. So that is this shelf, and now we go all the way to the bottom. I'm gonna have to take this off the tripod. Down here I have the first 6 books in the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series by Jeff Kinney. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules, The Last Straw, Dog Days, The Ugly Truth, and Cabin Fever. And then I have another copy of The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. I have The Secret Diary of Ashley Juergens, which is something from a TV show. And then I have the House of Night series by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. Marked, Betrayed, Chosen, Untamed, Hunted, Tempted, Burned, Awakened, and Destined. And Hidden came out this year, which I haven't gotten yet. And I still haven't finished Destined, so yeah. I'm quite behind. And then over here I have a bunch of picture books and iTunes gift cards. This is my bookshelf. This is me. You thought it was over. You thought wrong. So underneath my desk is where I keep all of my Harry Potter movies. Here they all are. All 8 of them. The last one in Blu-ray. And underneath here I have some books, but they're hiding. I have The Underdogs by Mike Lupica, a bunch of Roald Dahl books. I have Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, The Witches, Matilda, The BFG, Fantastic Mr. Fox, The Twits, The Draft, The Pele and Me, The Magic Finger, SEO Trots, and The Enormous Crocodile. Did you catch all of that? I was pretty proud of that. And then I have some stuff from The Simpsons, which is a TV show that I used to watch, so and then under here, I'm not quite sure where these came from. Please take note that I am crawling around on my floor showing you books, so just remember that. I have The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane by Kate DeCalamu. Underneath there, it's there, but you can't see it. I have The Penderwicks, The Tale of Despereaux by Kate DeCalamo, The Tiger Rising by Kate DeCalamo, Sixth Grade Secrets by Louis Sechar, Stuart Little by E.B. White, Bridge to Terabithia by Kate Patterson. Just kidding, it's Catherine Patterson. The Trumpet of the Swan by E.B. White, The Thief Lord by Cornelia Funk, The Dragon Rider, and Inkheart and Inkspell, also by Cornelia Funk, and then Igraine the Brave, all by Cornelia Funk. And chilling right here, I have all of the Spiderwick books, which are great books. And these are like Harry Potter coloring books that I used to always play with. Like, I have a lot of stuff in here. Oh my god. And then on this nifty little Amazon Kindle, I have quite a few books on here. Let's see what they are. There we go. I have Six's Legacy by Pittacus Lore, The Truth About Forever by Sarah Dessen, Keep Holding On by Suzanne Colasanti, Insurgent by Veronica Roth, Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver, High Society by Allie Carter, Hunted by PC Cast and Kristen Cast, Witch and Wizard by James Patterson and Gabrielle Charbonnet, The Shack by William P. Young, The Book of Luke by Jenny O'Connell, The Magicians by Lev Grossman, Misery by Stephen King, The Angel Experiment by James Patterson, The Last Song by Nicholas Sparks, No Second Chance by Harlan Coben, The Shining by Stephen King, A Walk to Remember by Nicholas Sparks, The Choice by Nicholas Sparks, oh I have more Nicholas Sparks than I thought, Handle with Care by Jodi Picoult, Missing Sisters by Gregory Maguire, and The Notebook by Nicholas Sparks. So, that is what's on my Kindle. I don't think I've ever shown you guys that. Wide shot of bookshelf. Yay. Thank you for being such great passengers on this bookshelf tour today. Out of all the visitors I've had, you are by far the most recent. Please exit on your left and don't forget to thumbs up and comment on your way out. I will see you guys very soon. I'm so cheesy, I can't even...